One of the famous stories that we're all familiar with is the struggle, the tussle that took place between Jacob and the angel. It's a theme that is depicted in many a piece of art and sculpture, but let's look at a curious detail within the actual story itself. You see, the struggle between Jacob and the angel reflects in essence the perpetual struggle that transpires continuously throughout the course of history. As the struggle comes to an end, Jacob is blessed by the angel, and then he asks a curious question. What is your name? And the angel, seemingly typically Jewish, answers the question with a question by saying, why do you ask my name? And then the Torah repeats, and he blessed him there. Why is Jacob concerned with the name of the angel, and why does the angel in essence refuse to respond directly to his question? Well, some suggest that the angel is not refusing to identify himself, he simply can't. That is to say, an angel always assumes a different identity subject to the particular mission with which they were charged. And in as much as he might have one name or identity now, as soon as this mission of the struggle with Jacob is over, he's going to be sent on a new mission, new name, new identity. And yet, there's something more over here. Something much deeper that is essentially being conveyed. You see, when Jacob is struggling with the angel, he knows this isn't a one-off. This angel was the guardian angel of Esau, representative therefore of all the hatred that Esau himself represents. And the struggle, it's not just in the moment. It's something that Jacob recognizes is going to be ongoing throughout the course of history. This struggle, this battle, this tussle between Jacob and the angel and Esau's angel here and now is really something that encapsulates all the struggles that the Jewish people are going to endure with all their many an enemy throughout the course of history. And so Jacob also knows that with the right sort of resolve and the right sort of determination, one can prevail, as indeed he did in the moment as well, just as he was victorious over the angel. With fortitude and faith, all obstacles can be overcome. Good will invariably always triumph over evil. But what he couldn't understand is, why is it necessary? Why is it that the fate of the Jewish people is such that they always have to endure the angel of Esau? That is to say, always have to endure varied forms of anti-Semitic persecution. Why must it be the case that, as per the words of what we say in the Haggadah Seder night, in every single generation they rise up against us to harm us? And that's why Jacob asks the angel, what is your name? The Talmud tells us that the name of a person reflects the essence of a person. And so for asking the name, Jacob in essence is really in effect asking for the real meaning and purpose of this apparent interminable struggle. But the angel replies, why are you asking my name? And in so responding, the angel is communicating an insightful message. He's telling Jacob that there's always going to be certain questions and ideas and philosophical and theological concepts that will be beyond human grasp. Why do you ask for my name? As great as you might be, try as you might, you will never be able to necessarily fathom the underlying reason for everything as it transpires in life. You know, life is a complex situation, and a multitude of questions tends to constantly gnaw at us. Sometimes we are perturbed by the ostensibly prohibitive demands of our faith. Other times we simply cannot comprehend the perplexity of our world and everything that we endure. For many, maybe the outstanding question in itself may be an excuse to abandon the premise. For others, the notion of asking borders on heresy. Jacob teaches us, what is your name? There is importance, there's value to asking a question. Because if you don't ask, you'll never learn. In the words of the rabbis, the embarrassed will never be educated. If you go and search for medical treatment, invariably you're going to be asking your doctor a whole range of questions in order to be able to better understand what's going on with you and how you're going to be dealt with. And if that's the way it works when it comes to your physical health, that's the way it works with life in general as well. We are entitled to ask. We are encouraged to ask. We need to ask in order to be able to lead a more meaningful existence. But as the angel responds to Jacob, why are you asking my name? Not everything is given to understand. Sometimes there has to be a little lessening of the ego to accept that we're not always going to have the answers. Where we can explore and discover We can always delight in the joy of the discovery. But there will be times when, why do you ask my name? Accept the reality for what it is, full stop. Often, what we encounter in life, we contentedly recognize as part of human nature. Other times, things make little sense to our limited intellect, and maybe on the back of that, doubt starts to seep through. But in the final analysis, to doubt is a rational response, even if clouded somewhat with emotion. To have faith is a supra-rational response, but entrenched in the spirit of intellectual honesty. And whilst it's true that faith always runs the risk of shrinking when washed in the waters of affliction, let's remember it's not a pill you take when in pain, but a muscle you flex in order to help you rise to the challenges of life. And though the angel had already blessed Jacob prior to their little exchange, as soon as he says, why do you ask my name? The Torah says, again, and he blessed him there. Because when we're able to get to grips with life, by finding that balance, yes, going in search for greater meaning, relishing in the solutions, the answers, the explanations when available, and accepting when sometimes the answers may never be forthcoming, that's when we find true contentment and blessedness in our lives. Shabbat Shalom.